welcome to Drive-In Double Feature Podcast. I'm Nathan.
I'm Ryan.
And this is the podcast where we talk about 2 movies a week every Tuesday and Thursday. But before we get into today's episode, I want to talk to you about our Patreon. If you head over to patreon.com, what are you, / Drive-In Double Feature Podcast. Forget the what are you in the middle of that. But you were smiling, you were smirking over there. What's so funny? What's nothing? Oh, okay. All right. What do you think, the Patreon is funny? Are you making fun of people that give us $5 a month just to help support the podcast? They get fun games,
I'm
fun
laughing.
conversations.
I'm laughing at all the people that don't fund the podcast.
Oh, there we go. Which is a very small minority out there. So you're not laughing at a lot of people, but you know, you get so many benefits. Why don't you help support the podcast? But no main show content is locked behind the podcast. It's locked behind the Patreon. Everything's locked behind the podcast, I guess.
Good jokes is locked behind the podcast. Good chemistry.
Yeah, exactly.
Trying to remember pod details. It's all locked.
Oh,
we can't access it at all.
Wouldn't that be crazy? if we remembered something, like if we remembered every single thing every episode, like we had no no what's their names or anything like that. Do you think that's ever happened? No. There's no way.
No way.
But what are we covering again? I'm just kidding. Who's in this movie? Who is the star of this one again? No, well, this week we're actually doing a fun little theme. We are doing Elvis Week. We are doing what is considered his worst and what is considered his best. And it's Drive-In Double Feature. So, of course, we have to start with his worst. We can't go from best to worst. You got to start with the bad news, then the good news. So we are talking about Harum Scarum from 1965, starring the one and only Elvis Presley. So I guess before we even get into this week, I feel like it's important to talk about our relationships with Elvis, the artist. Not in that way, not like Priscilla or anything like that, but like your history with him. Personally, I grew up loving Elvis. Really did. I loved all of his music. Not all of it, but the hits when I was like 6 or 7. Mainly because Lilo and Stitch came out. I love Lilo and Stitch, and that was full of Elvis music. My dad really likes Elvis, and I remember he had a CD. We listened to it all the time, so I grew up on his music. Never really watched the movies. Kind of fell out of interest in him. But, Elvis is just like one of those figures that everybody knows. So I have some history with Elvis. What about you? Do you have any Elvis history?
Honestly, not a strong history with Elvis.
Yeah.
I did listen to his music, but I was never, ever super into it at all. I was kind of just a very casual Elvis enjoyer. Like, oh, yeah, that's not bad. I mean, I would always see more caricatures of Elvis than I would actually ever see the man Elvis.
Yeah.
It was always people like acting like Elvis or doing impersonations. Honestly, my actual access to the real Elvis was not something I ever did, but he was always in my foray. Like I always knew about him, and I always knew people where like he was like a big deal growing up. I mean, honestly, I mean, I enjoy his songs. He's a great entertainer, but he's never been one I've really connected with, honestly.
No, and I get that. That definitely depends on the person. I'm definitely not one because like we've talked about, there are people out there that love them some Elvis. Like it is like their life. They
I just realized Quentin Tarantino loves Elvis, so I like him a lot now.
You know what? I agree. He likes Elvis for real? I didn't know that. But
or Quentin Tarantino played an Elvis impersonator on the episode of The Golden Girls.
I didn't know that actually. That sounds about right. You know what? I would like to see that now. It's crazy how many Elvis impersonations get into the world, just like Johnny Bravo. When I was a kid, I didn't know that was making fun of Elvis. But yeah, that's like what they're going for with that. I don't know. Very interesting character, but he has so many movies. He was in a ton of movies during his career. Have you seen any of his movies before? Was this your first time?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen one. I've seen one. I've seen Speedway of all movies for some reason, which is like him being a race car driver. I watched it a couple of years ago. But I don't have a lot of experience with them. Now Harum Scarum is one that I think I may have heard of from a YouTube video I watched. Um,
Hmm.
it's it's Elvis in Saudi Arabia. And it's supposed to be terrible. Have you heard of
Is
Harum?
it is it Saudi Arabia? I thought they made up their own country.
Is it? Well, sorry, I should say it's Arabia, Arabian Nights type deal.
I was like, I think that they used, I can't remember the name, but it was another country name. Is it Barsalam something?
You're right. I'm trying to, yeah, Bar Essalam. Bar
Yeah.
Essalam. I say Saudi Arabia. I should say Middle East. The general area that it should be in. And guess what? Elvis Presley plays a Hollywood actor. Oh wow, I don't know. That's a little tough for him. He plays Johnny Tyrone, who's like an action movie star. And this movie opens up with this action scene with him beating up a bunch of dudes, and the camera backs out, and it's just a movie. And what's funny is I feel like the movie that they're showing is supposed to be like, is it supposed to be bad? Because it's about the same
No,
quality
like
as the rest of the movie.
no, it's supposed to be that it's good and that he's like a total badass. That
Yeah,
he could kill a cheetah with just a karate chop.
yeah, it's not even like the trope of like oh it's a strong actor, but outside of that he's I'm playing a character. No, it's like Jean-Claude Van Damme the way he does it. He's just as strong in real life, or Steven Seagal even, just as strong in real life as he is in the movies. He is known to be an amazing martial artist. Can beat up anybody with no problems. And right off the bat, I was surprised by just how bad this movie actually is. It's a it's a bad movie. I don't know how'd
Oh,
you
it's
feel
not.
about it.
No, it's not good at all.
It's terrible. I feel so bad watching Elvis in this movie because it is obvious he does not care about this movie. He's out of it. Like he's
he's
not giving anything.
he is so mentally checked out of this
Yeah.
movie. He is uh, even his singing, and I mean, his singing doesn't sound bad. I'll say that.
Mhm.
It's decent singing. The songs though completely unmemorable at
Mhm.
all. I couldn't remember one song, something about go to the Middle East and get a cure, something
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
There's one song I remember. There's one, but we'll get there.
Oh, well, okay, yeah. But
Not for good reasons. I don't remember it for good reasons.
exactly now that you said that.
Hmm.
But I'm just saying, like, just his presence when he sings, like, you think like when people are doing these musicals, like I think of stuff like Chicago, where people are doing these really larger than life performances where they're just
Hmm.
singing their hearts out, or they're doing like this big, amazing spectacles when they're singing and dancing. Here, he's just like standing there and just his eyes are all like they don't look like there's any life to his
Yeah.
eyes, just like, oh, just
Yeah.
he
It,
just looks so bored, and even his acting in it, this is just awful.
yeah, he is not trying in any way. Like you said, he just looks bored when he talks. Sometimes, maybe for a short second, there might be a little glimmer, but for the most part, he doesn't care. And just reading like some of the small notes we have on this movie, I guess he did grow tired of this movie. The movie that we got was not what he wanted. He wanted more something that where he would play a sheik, because this movie is supposed to be kind of a send up to Rodolfo Valentino, who his big movie is The Sheik. And I honestly, have you ever seen that movie? No
Nope.
connection here. I really didn't feel that at all. And this is funny. On Wikipedia, it says this. Similar, because Elvis had a misconception of what the script was. Colonel Tom Parker also didn't know what this script, or thought this script was something that it wasn't, and actually thought this movie was a full comedy and had suggested a talking camel be in this movie. But I love it on Wikipedia. Next to that, it says citation needed. So what I just said could be complete garbage.
Well, because I read that factoid too, and I can't take Colonel Tom Parker seriously after the
No,
Elvis movie now
no.
because it's so anybody who hasn't seen it, the Elvis movie from 2020, right?
Mhm.
Was it 2020, I believe, or 2023?
I forget
Anyway,
again.
the Tom Hanks plays Colonel Tom Parker in that movie,
Mhm.
and he's really bad in that movie. And
Terrible.
and he has this. We need to go to the Elvis Presley, and
It's
it's just
it's so odd because if you watch interviews of Colonel Tom Parker, he acted nothing like in, because like it'd be different.
he sounds nothing like that.
Yeah, Tom Hanks is going for like a German accent or some weird accent, and yeah, and then like in interviews after it, it's just like it would be different if like he actually sounded like that and was this really weird character, but he hams it up. But I agree. I also read that and I think about Tom Hanks in my head.
Yeah, so I just
There will
imagine him.
be a
Let's put the talking camel in this movie.
yeah, there should be a section on Harum Scarum because they do talk about him being in movies, but they don't. I don't think they talk about Harum Scarum in the unless I forget. Um,
No.
But anyway, the setup to this movie is that he's a movie star, and when he's out in the Middle East, he gets kidnapped. There's this woman who he has like a picnic dinner with, and she poisons him, or puts him to sleep, and then he's been kidnapped by the League of Assassins. And the assassin's leader thinks he's such a strong movie star that he's going to assassinate someone important. Um, and just like right from there, whenever we get out of that movie the theater and into like these sets for the gardens and the walls of Arabia, it's really fake. It's more than most 50s movies. Like, you're gonna take some of that. It's not gonna look very real.
Well, this is the 60s too, so
Sorry. Well, yeah, even worse. But yeah, even for the 60s, it's really weak. It's a really weak set design. It's just a cheap movie. Cheap looking, looks very rushed.
well, there's a good reason for that. You
Okay,
probably
yeah.
read that too.
No, no.
Oh, okay. So I looked, the budget for this movie was $1.4 million. dollars.
Which is that, I mean, even in the 60s, that's not great, right?
Pick how, guess how much Elvis got paid for this movie?
No way. A million?
Yes.
So it only made 400,000 for the movie?
Yeah, apparently like
Oh, wow.
that's again, that's just from the bare bones research I did to it. It's just that he got paid $1 million just to be in this movie.
Mhm.
And I don't know if he got a portion of the gross or whatever and that did it, but he got paid $1 million for this movie. And
Holy crap.
you think like being like one of the highest paid actors at that time, because
Mhm.
not everybody was getting millions of dollars in the 60s to do movies.
Most
So,
people weren't.
but yeah, he was just like, you'd think he'd be like ecstatic to be in this type of movie. He's getting that paycheck, but he's just phoning it in like he's doing
Ugh.
like some straight to DVD garbage movie.
But this went to the theaters, okay?
I
But
know, but
yeah, no, I know what you're saying. But no, he is
uh,
like just like deadpan. I mean, he's even sleeping during a song. There's the song when he wakes up after being drugged and he sees like the women, and he just starts singing immediately about just being happy being surrounded by women. Horrible, horrible performance. Just and also just goofy because he wakes up from being drugged and just starts singing. I don't know, it just seems a little odd because it's not very, I guess it's weird. It's not a musical in the sense of like they are singing their emotions or singing with the story to move it along. It's kind of like the story happens and then he sings a song in the middle of all of that and then more story happens. It doesn't move anything along.
Yeah, and they're not, like I said before, they're not great songs to begin
No,
with.
I couldn't even
Um,
remember most of them.
but what though, so when they were going for the angle of we want you to assassinate this king
Hmm.
because you're a total badass in all these movies. I thought they were going to go with the angle of like the Three Amigos angle, where
Mm.
it was going to be something like he was kind of like a fraud. He was just like, I'm just a movie star. I can't do
Yeah,
any of that stuff. But no, he actually is as capable in those movies as they make him out to be in this movie.
yeah.
That he's like, oh no, I can actually kill you with my bare hands, type of thing.
Yeah, and he fights off a whole giant group of people that are trying to like hold him down, and he's pretty powerful at it. Um
Hmm.
so yeah, he is no, I that's exactly how I felt. I thought it was gonna be I'm just an actor, but no, this man does it all. He does all of his own stunts and everything. But he is able to escape and he runs into another girl along the way. And then he's like, "Oh, I'm here. I got kidnapped, and they want me to assassinate someone important." And the girl like runs away. She's just like so scared, which I think is weird. I thought that whole thing was weird because he even openly admits, like, "Hey, I'm from America. I was kidnapped, and they kidnapped me to kill someone." And it all, it sounded like I got away. I ran away. But she's like, "Oh my God, no, no, no! You're gonna kill my dad." Is who he doesn't know that, but that's what
He was
what it
pulling a
is.
Jasmine.
A Jasmine? What does
Hmm.
Jasmine do in Aladdin again?
She pretends to be like poor in the
I
beginning
get
of the
I get what
movie.
you're saying. Okay. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Um wow, two great movies just so alike. Uh,
Oh,
um
speaking of that, when you say movie, that made me think. This movie does have a connection to Drive-In Double Feature.
it does how
This movie was double billed with Ghidorah, the three-headed monster.
wow. Man, you gotta sit through. I wonder which one was first. You
You get to watch.
usually you would put the
You get to watch.
bad one up front, right?
Yeah, like you got. Would you do that? You put the bad one up front because you're like you wouldn't want him to
Yeah.
like leave during the movie, though.
No, but they would be more likely to leave if the second movie was bad, right? Like, oh, I watched Ghidorah and this movie's starting to suck. I'm gonna leave. You'd rather like be like, oh, I'm gonna have to sit through this so I can get to Ghidorah, right? Like I can get to the more interesting one.
I would guess I would just look at it as well. They already got your money. It's like, well, you already watched one movie. You can't get your money back.
That is true. I feel like it could work. Yeah, I guess if they left during the first movie, you'd be more, it'd be more like, okay, I guess I have to give you your money back. Um, Interesting. But that is pretty cool that we've actually now seen this double feature now.
Oh,
Um
we should have done. We should do that. Side note, we should do that. Actually, look for like a double bill. Like, hey, like this movie was done with this movie, and we watch it back to back, kind of.
that would actually be really fun. We should do that sometime. Well, probably look
Yeah.
up famous ones. Um
Mhm.
but um the daughter goes to the king and the king finds out and they kind of just have to just wait it out. Elvis has to figure out how to get back to America because as he comes to find out, nobody in the Middle East here in this country, that there's no airport, there's no US embassy, there's no cars, he cannot leave this country.
So they make a point to say that the city has been isolated for 2,000 years.
Yeah.
They're like nobody from the outside world has come here at all. But then they have machine guns and assault rifles. So I'm
Yeah,
just like,
it
did
mhm.
they just build those from scratch?
It's like Wakanda. It's like they're isolated but really advanced.
Oh, like they just have like a gun tree. You just pull a gun right off of a tree and it's that.
It's that good over there. It's pretty cool. They didn't go into the lore. You would have to read the movie novelization to really learn about the history of um I don't remember the name of this Bar
Bar Sil
Esalam.
Bar Salam.
Yeah. But we can't go too deep into it for this podcast. Um, but Elvis runs into this slave master, and this movie deals with slaves and women slaves, and Elvis coming to free slaves. And there's like this group, there's the guy who's like the leader that's taking money from Elvis in order to help him escape, has three slave women under him, and two children, two orphan children. Um,
And a slave man too,
a slave
I
man too.
think.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, there's like another guy that's a part of the group.
Well, because they're like, because the kids that you said, they're like, oh, this is our mothers, our three mothers and our father. And it's just this random guy. He doesn't really say anything.
Yeah, he's just kind of there. And I don't know, there's something just like so a little off-putting about this whole slave situation and the way they like kind of, the people are darkened, their skin is darkened and stuff. It's the 60s. But there's this really weird scene, and I think you know the one I'm talking about, where he gets back to the den and he's just hanging out with all the slaves. And then the daughter, the young girl, maybe 9, she's like, no, when I grow up, I'm going to be an amazing slave. It's going to be great. And then she dances. And Elvis sings a song about, like, come over here, little girl. I want to dance with you, little girl.
Yeah, talking about how cute she is, and you can't wait to get close to her,
Yeah.
a- and the girls dancing like semi provocatively.
Yeah. It's
Um,
a little off-putting.
so I was kind of just grossed out a little bit, like during this whole scene. You're just kind of like
Yeah, just that
it's
scene alone cements this movie as just like something just more. I don't think it's bad, like so bad it's good or anything. Just like, oh, this is now just like a gross movie. It's just like the Gigi, right? With that, like, thank God for little
you're like
girls. It's like the same
yeah, little
idea.
girls. I love little girls. It's just
Yeah, it's like it's just weird because I think the people making this movie thought it was cute, but it's not cute. It's just weird.
it is.
So yeah, that happens. Um, and then after that, I mean, honestly, Ryan, I remember this movie, but I clocked out. I mean, like, I know this movie, I watched every scene, but was I really checked into this movie? Not really. Because not only is it just cheap, Elvis doesn't care about his acting, there's weird scenes. It's also just kind of a nothing, boring movie. I don't think much really happens in this movie. This section where he's trying to escape lasts forever.
So I mean, I thought the first half was pretty lacking.
Hmm.
Um, the second half, I'm not saying it was good by any means, but
Yeah,
I at least remember more stuff of the second half of this movie than I do the first half.
I get that.
Uh, One section in particular is they did get a little person actor
Yeah, Billy
to
Barty.
Billy Barty. Yep, he he just like beats people. Like I was laughing because he'd walk up, he'd sneak up on somebody and just tap them on the shoulder, and they're like, "Huh?" And he just whack him over the head and knock him out. The funniest though is like he walks up to one guy, he kicks him in the shin, and the guy like keels over. He's like, "Ah!" And then he just hits him over the head with like a giant turkey leg and knocks him out.
Yeah, there's one silly bit where they've snuck into the palace, and he's sneaking under like all the pillows and cushions, almost like a snake, sliding
Yeah.
himself, hiding through the palace. That was kind of silly. So if that, I guess I could take him out of the movie and be like, okay, at least someone here is doing something fun, because the movie devolves into like an action comedy, almost Scooby-Doo like, because Elvis and the gang have to run away from the assassins, and it's like this hiding and then getting caught, the whole thing.
Well, like, because the whole reason that the assassins did this, because we find out that um, the assassins were acting on behalf of the king's brother.
Hmm.
It's like, oh my God, it's just like it's supposed to be this big shocking thing, and it's not really at all. It's just I don't
No.
really care. And but it turns out the assassins are so evil, they don't care. Like they're like, okay, we're gonna kill the king we've killed the king. Now we're gonna have you basically be our puppet,
Hmm.
and you're gonna have to do everything we say, or we're gonna kill you, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. So they. So now that that's happened, Elvis has forced his hand, and he has to go to the palace. His skin gets a lot darker too. I'm sure you
I
noticed
noticed
that.
that he got noticeably darker in
It's
that
it's
movie.
really weird because he doesn't actually go through with the assassination. He gets caught, and eventually he has to confess. There's a scene where he confesses, like, "I love your daughter," after meeting her one time. I love your daughter, and we need to, and I would never kill your dad. And in that scene, he's like, he's doing brown face. They have darkened him up a lot.
Well, there's a lot of brown face going on in this
Oh
movie.
yeah.
I don't believe there's many actual Arabic people in this movie.
No, no, not at all. Um, but yeah, so that whole thing happens. He's forced into it, but he doesn't. So he actually protects his father from the assassins. And there's a sword fight scene at the end between the king and his brother. That's a little silly because the lead into that, they're playing he's the brother is playing chess with a slave girl, and then the slave girl goes, checkmate, and then boom, he walks in. It kind of is silly.
Well, yeah, and that was kind of they kind of flipped the script on that bit a little bit too, because
Mhm.
it turned out instead of them actually fighting, like the two brothers fighting to the death, because we cut away and they're
Uh-huh.
doing like this big, uh, huge fight scene with with all the assassins. Is that the the king and his brother? It's like, oh, we just played a game of chess and I won, and now I can exile my brother.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I thought that was kind of funny where it was like, all right, he's gone. He's going to be exiled for the rest of his life.
Yeah, and then Elvis just makes it over. Oh, don't exile him to the United States.
And everyone laughed.
Well, yeah, I do want to mention that the main assassin, the main bad guy of this movie, he dies in probably one of the dumbest ways I've ever seen somebody die in a movie.
How does he die again?
So he's the uh the good guys, they grab him and they capture him and they tie him up. So he's restrained.
Hmm.
So all the other assassins are fighting all the other good guys. And I think there's a guy, one of the other assassins is holding a gun, and somebody, I forget, like either he gets shot or something gets thrown at him. But anyway, the assassin has the gun. He's like, ah, and like as he's dying, he's shooting his gun and it ends up hitting like the head assassin. He's like, oh, he
That's
just die,
right.
he
That
just
actually,
dies.
I think I forgot it because it caught me so off guard. It's very like weird. It's like it
It's
almost
a
made no
very
sense.
it's one of the most off the wall deaths I've seen, where it's just they build
Yeah.
up somebody to be the main bad guy of this movie, and he just dies by friendly fire.
Yeah. Did they not want Elvis to actually kill anybody?
That's the only thing I could think of. Like they wanted him to be squeaky clean,
Yeah, and
and
still a deadly killer.
I guess, but Elvis goes back to Vegas. He brings the girl with them.
All the
Everything's
slave
great.
girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everything works out. He's in Vegas because I can't believe Colonel Parker even let him leave to the Middle East in the first
Oh, I
place.
know.
Um, but yeah, it ends with a song, and let me tell you, none of these songs are memorable, just like you said. And I don't think this movie is very memorable. Personally, was not a big fan of this one. When you want to see Elvis, you want to see someone with charisma. I don't have to see a great performance, but I want to see something fun, something interesting to look at. And you can tell he's not interested in this, and I think that makes this movie not interesting at all. So this is a not recommend, like, fully from me.
Yeah, I this it's not a good time, really. I mean, there's some like funny haha moments because I like, like I said,
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that they actually did something like that, but
Mhm.
it's not worth your time at all. I wouldn't recommend it at all.
Yeah. But I do think that puts an end to the worst Elvis movie. But Ryan, what are we going to be covering on Thursday?
Well, Nathan, we're going to be doing what people regard as the best Elvis movie, and we're going to be doing King Creole, and that is also on YouTube for free.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to watch that one. And if you want to email us, you can email us at drivingdoublefeaturepodcast@gmail.com. You can also check us out on YouTube. Be sure to like and subscribe over there. But Until next time.
Until next time.